Login complete. Welcome to Alyx's world.
Somebody check on Cody Rhodes, because I don't see him finishing the story this year. Welcome to Alyx's world, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx, just Alyx. This is my WWE Raw Day 1-ish review. Happy New Year, happy 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy celebrated. He was out all night celebrating with the honeys. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm not even gonna kid you. Your boy's not a chick magnet. As much as I want to be, I'm not. But I did have a great time out. I gotta be honest with you. I kind of been feeling the effects of being out all night. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I be posting my times out, man. I party. I be hanging around people that party all night. And let me tell you something. I'm expecting 2024 to be even bigger than 2023. I am manifesting it right now. As amazing as 2023 was, thank you all so much for a great year. This one's going to be even bigger. And then next year, even bigger. The year after that, even bigger. It's going to keep going until I can't get any more bigger. And I'll stop growing when I pass away. So, if you're just joining me, it's about damn time you hopped on this gravy train, because it's gonna keep going up. And you don't want to miss it when it reaches the peak. Because guess what happens when you reach the peak? It's the start of a new mountain. And I'm gonna keep on going. So don't get left behind. Now, in terms of WWE, Monday Night Raw tonight, live in San Diego. Overall, we're going to talk about The Rock in just a second, but let me talk about the show as a whole. I thought tonight was decent. Am I the only one that feels like they were playing it safe? I won't say it was a bad show, but I'm not going to lie. I felt the 3 hours. I felt those 3 hours. I thought, for the most part, the wrestling was solid, decent to solid. No match of the year candidates. Not every show needs to have a match of the year candidate. But there wasn't a lot of storyline advancement. I was very surprised by that. Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax was, I'm not kidding you, the best Nia Jax match I've ever seen. Now don't get your hopes up. It doesn't say much that was her best match, because all of her other matches have been shite. Abysmal. This one was solid. I was able to sit through it and go, wow, that was a very strong performance by Nia Jax against Becky Lynch. And I liked the ending. Basically knocked Becky's socks off, got her bleeding. It was kayfabe blood, not real blood, but she started bleeding and she beat her clean. Surprise, surprise. Nia Jax had a pretty solid match that didn't suck. Can she do the same thing against Rhea Ripley? Because she will be fighting Rhea Ripley at the Royal Rumble. Probably not. But I will give her credit where credit is due, Nia Jax. You had a match that didn't suck. And you didn't hurt Becky. Well, kayfabe you did, but you didn't actually hurt Rebecca, which, 2 thumbs up. I would say that's the best part of the show. If a certain someone didn't return. I don't really know what to say about the rest of the show. Giovanni Vinci got hurt, so the Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston, who was it? Kevin Owens? No, it was Kofi Kingston. The Jey Uso, Kofi Kingston tag match against Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, the Imperium, got cut short because Kofi hit Giovanni with a drop kick, and then they instantly stopped the match. Possible concussion. Hope he's doing okay. Seriously, you don't really know what these wrestlers are going through, what they deal with on a regular basis. We all just watch them wrestle. We don't know the kind of pain they're in, and we never will, because it's never taught. It's not common knowledge. And the thing is, these concussions, it's hard for me to imagine that a lot of these concussions aren't being caught a lot of the time. They just finish the match. They just usually finish the match with a concussion. So I'm happy they caught it and they stopped it. Did it hurt the overall flow of the show? Absolutely. But sometimes you got... What would you rather them do? Keep going and possibly injure him even more? Nah, I'm happy they stopped the match. It ain't worth it, bruh. I thought Ivy Nile looked great. Very good performance against Rhea Ripley. I hope she keeps improving. I hope she keeps getting better. I can see her being someone big. Because her in-ring ability, I feel like we're scratching the surface with it. So, she's probably going to be someone big one day. The segment with Miz on Miz TV with R-Truth. The return of the awesome Truth. I had enough. Conspiracy, make me change it up. You suck. You suck. You suck. Hey, you suck. Ooh. The good R-Truth is gone. The bad R-Truth is back to the bone. You suck. The awesome Truth got a reunion, mini reunion. And the Judgment Day, well, Dom, in his hometown of San Diego, got booed the living hell out of. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. Even though I wanted Dominic Mysterio to win Heel of the Year, and he didn't, they went to Christian Cage, understandably so. The amount of heat he gets at this age is incredible. There are wrestlers that work decades. Do you hear me? Decades that don't get the amount of heat that Dom gets. Incredible work. And it was all due to great storytelling under Triple H. Just saying. But yeah, that stuff was... I don't know where this is going, but I'm really enjoying this R-Truth Judgment Day story. I like this dynamic. It just works very well. It's not as... How about this? Because people compare it to Sami Zayn and the Bloodline dynamic. It's not as serious and emotionally driven as that is. This one seems more of a comedic kind of portrayal of a buddy... I don't even want to say buddy cop kind of film. I don't even know what it's called. It's an odd fellow kind of pairing, which for some reason is working. I didn't think it would work, but it's working. So I'm really liking that. I think pretty much everything else we can talk about. The tag match, Natalya, Tegan Nox, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. Shayna and Zoe win. Okay. You know, they're going to have Tegan Nox struggle a little bit more, as she should. Really get that babyface momentum going. And then the main event. The main event was... I thought the match was good. Drew and Seth, of course, are going to have a good match. You expect a good match out of those two. Damian Priest went out there to cash in, as you would expect. When the match was over with, there was a spot where Drew had Seth pinned. Drew had Seth beat, but then he caught Seth's leg on the bottom rope. Very similar to how Pac or Adrian Neville almost had Seth Rollins beat in 2015, but Seth's foot caught the bottom rope. And, yeah, Drew was very ticked off by that, but at the end, when it came down to it, Seth hits the pedigree on the table that didn't break. I am the table! Curb stomp, pins Drew McIntyre 1, 2, 3. And I'm sitting there, while that's happening, while Seth is down, after he beats Drew, I'm looking at Damian Priest stand up with the briefcase in hand, and I'm going, cash in. Cash in. What are you doing? Why are you not why are you just standing there? Am I the only one just going, why aren't you cashing in? Okay, you got kicked in the face. You're up. And Seth is down. I was very, very confused and weirded out by that decision to just end the show with the camera focused on Damian Priest and Seth just laid out. Like, I would understand if there were people inside the ring celebrating with Seth to stop the cash in. No one was out there. Damian could have cashed in, but he didn't. So that was a super, very weird ending for me. I did not at all understand why they booked the show to end that way. And I'm not even upset that Seth retains. Seth retains. I do wonder where this leads for Drew McIntyre. His entire story of taking this dark path just kind of ended on a meh. So I'm assuming he's not resigning? Because I would think if he was going to resign, they would have had him win. Even if it was just for 2 seconds. Then had Damian Priest cash in and give him the belt. That's so weird. That's such a weird ending. I would have thought to make a statement, the very first Raw of 2024, to me, should have ended with a big moment, which I think would have been great if that moment was a cash-in from Damian Priest. I predicted that Drew McIntyre was going to beat Seth, but then hold the belt for like 2 seconds before Damian cashed in. That's what I predicted. That's what I thought was going to happen. But no, they just had Seth win, and then no cash-in. And I'm like, that's it? Okay. That's I don't know. That was just super weird to me. We'll have to see where that one goes. But none of that matters. None of it matters. You want to know why none of it matters? Because that's not what people are talking about. Despite everything that happened on this show, the one thing that people are coming away with was a certain segment. A certain segment that had a former WWE champion return in. And that return, you all know it.
Start watching this channel when The Rock returned last year. You popped up on my feed and been here since. Keep doing yo thing, bro. 2024 is your year.
Thank you, McNeil. I appreciate the donation and, of course, the subscription. My man, you joined at a great time. But yeah, the former champion was the Maharaja Jinder Mahal. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. When Jinder Mahal walked out there, I died laughing. That crowd was pissed. I already knew it was a swerve. As soon as he walked out there, I said, this is a swerve. Totally a swerve. I wonder who's coming out afterwards, though. But yeah, he came out, and I love the fact that this segment was all improv. This had the feel of an Attitude Era. Hey, here's some bullet points. Go out there, get some heat. The Rock's going to come out, and he's going to embarrass you. And then he's going to give you the people's elbow kind of feel. That's exactly what this segment was. And man, when The Rock's music hit, look at the crowd. Look at how the fans jumped up out of their seats as soon as his music hit. That's not something you see nowadays anymore. Rarely do you see that across the board. He came out, the crowd was electric. That segment with Jinder Mahal and The Rock was great. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I actually became a bigger fan of Jinder Mahal after this segment. He held his own very well with The Rock. And see, this is why I say it's important to bring back legends so the wrestlers can have a chance to show that they can meet up to their standards, that they can stand up to them, that they can rise to the occasion. Just like with Austin Theory when The Rock showed up, and now Jinder Mahal with The Rock showing up. It actually elevates them, raises their stake, raises their stock. And of course, The Rock gets some zingers in on Jinder Mahal. Day one, douchebag. Day one, douchebag. And then, of course, hits the people's elbow, took a bump, letting people know that he could still do it. And then you're thinking, okay, well, that's it, right? He came in, got the pop, did the people's elbow. He goes home, right? Nope. Rock then grabs the microphone. He looks at San Diego. He goes, well, he says, The Rock is hungry. I'm going to go get something to eat. Should The Rock sit at the bar? Sit The Rock? Sit at the booth? Or should The Rock sit at the head of the table? Big pop. Massive, massive pop. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't been following social media all day, it was a foregone conclusion that The Rock was coming back the moment a photo surfaced of The Rock backstage at an ESPN interview with Nick Khan. As soon as that came out, we all knew it was him. Speculation started to arise that maybe we're going to get The Rock versus Roman Reigns again this year. And I said, and even now I'm still kind of saying, I will not believe it until I see a graphic. The Rock can come in all day and say, I want the head of the table. Hey, he might be teasing next year. He might be teasing SummerSlam. Until I see a graphic, I'm not going to get excited. With that said, the moment he even said head of the table, you see the reaction, you hear the crowd get excited. Everyone should have known at that moment, if we are doing The Rock versus Roman Reigns this year, that is your main event at WrestleMania. Sorry, Cody. Sorry, Cody. We might still finish your story, but you had your shot. You had your shot at the main event last year. This year, if we are doing The Rock versus Roman Reigns, that is your main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. And I see people on social media saying, well, we could do it at Elimination Chamber in Australia. The building they're going to be in holds 70,000. We could do it there. You could. If you wanted to, sure. You could book Roman Reigns versus The Rock. But let me ask you this. What match is going to get bigger media attention? Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns? Or The Rock versus Roman Reigns? What match is a match that people have been calling a dream match for over a decade? What match is one that we know the moment it's announced, you're going to have all sorts of outside media, talk shows, celebrities, all this attention on? Is it going to be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns? Or is it going to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson? One of Hollywood's biggest box office draws. Coming back to reclaim his throne as the head of the table of the Samoan dynasty. A goddamn storyline started almost 4 years ago. 3 years going so far. You tell me what is the main event. What you think should rightfully be the main event. Because a lot of you are saying, well, what about Cody's moment? What about Cody's moment? He can have his moment too. You do Cody versus The Rock at night 1. Excuse me. Cody versus Roman Reigns at night 1. We might get Cody versus The Rock, but not tonight. Or this year. Cody versus Roman Reigns on night 1. Cody beats Roman for the title. Then night 2, The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the right to be called Tribal Chief. You can do that. You can do that. Now I know a lot of you are going to sit here and ask, what about CM Punk and Seth Rollins? Well, unfortunately, they're going to get bumped. Sorry. You're going to get bumped. That's what happens when you bring back The Rock. You knew that was going to happen. And I think that's ultimately why people are hoping that it is at Elimination Chamber. You're hoping that The Rock and Roman happens in Perth, in Australia. Because if that happens sooner, CM Punk and Seth gets their main event on night 1. Cody versus Roman gets their main event on night 2. Right. And you know what? I'll say it this way. If that's what they do, I won't lose sleep over it. I just want The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I think it should happen at WrestleMania. I think it deserves to happen at WrestleMania. I think it should happen at WrestleMania. But I'm not booking WWE. And I'm not going to lose sleep over Rock versus Roman. I will say, if they do Rock versus Roman at Chamber, that pretty much guarantees that Roman's going to win. But if you do Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania night 2, after Cody beats Roman on night 1, Now you have this idea in your head that The Rock could beat Roman, which then makes that match even better. I personally think it should happen on night 2. You guys will most likely say it should happen at Chamber, so CM Punk and Seth Rollins can get in the night 1 main event. However you want it, however you say, however you view it, that's on you. I'm not going to give you a hard time. I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm just giving you my opinion. But we cannot dispute this one fact. The Rock announcing, teasing, that he is going to face Roman Reigns. Officially. This is an official tease now. None of those, okay, well, he said on his TV show, oh, he hinted at it here in this interview. No. On television, in front of the millions and millions, he finally teased a match against Roman Reigns. So now it's gotta happen. And it's gonna happen. It's all about when now. So again, I won't get excited until I see the graphic, but I think it's clear now we're gonna get the match. It's just when. Me personally, I know WWE. They're all about that money. Yeah. They're all about the money. And the biggest box office match, the biggest box office draw that you can do in 2024 is not Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, it's not. Cody can finish his story all he wants. But that's not the biggest box office draw that you can do for a wrestling match. The biggest box office match you can do right now in 2024, whether you like it or not, if we're going to be objectively unbiased about this entire situation, you have to admit that the biggest match that they can do is The Rock versus Roman Reigns. And if that's the biggest match that you're going to do, why would you not have it at WrestleMania? That's my question to you. So let me know. You guys let me know right now what match you want to see. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. If you want to see Cody, Roman, main event night 2, maybe you want to see Rock and Roman main event night 1. But then you kick CM Punk and Seth Rollins out of their spot. Personally, the moment The Rock came back, I already said, well, Punk and Seth aren't getting the main event. Sorry, guys. And that will affect the Royal Rumble. But who knows? I would prefer, this is just me personally, if we are doing this match, and we're going to do it in front of thousands, whether it's 60,000 in Australia or 60,000 in Philadelphia, I would prefer it to be on the grandest stage of it all. Especially if this is going to be The Rock's retirement match. We haven't gotten that confirmation yet. Because I am hearing rumors that The Rock is going to be entered into the Hall of Fame, inducted into the Hall of Fame. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. I just feel like if this is truly the final dream match, the very last dream match that we have, there's no way you have that go on before WrestleMania. But you let me know. You let me know what you feel should happen, and we'll talk more about this match when we get to the segment later on tonight. Thank you all for being here. We have close to 200 people live. I've been going for almost 40 minutes though, so I think we should go ahead and get things going here. Let's do the sponsorship. Let me go ahead and get the shout outs in. Say hello to the people. Say hello to the moderators. Welcome everybody to the new year. Get to the super chats, and then we'll get to the review, and then we'll hang out afterwards. So those of you who are watching me for the first time, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, you're at it! Help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at Just Alex Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkest. Cameo, Threads. Give me a follow on all of my social medias. You can also donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi, and please get yourself a t-shirt today, a Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt, get you a new school Alex's World t-shirt, but most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie. My America, the remix. T-shirt made by Itch, 10 Ox, and 5-star heart. All this down below in the description box. Today's sponsor is Surfshark. If you're in need of a VPN to protect you from malware attacks, to stop you from looking over to your right and looking over to your left, from people who can steal your identity and other things that belong to you, the best VPN is Surfshark, and I can get you a sweet, sweet deal right now. So how's about we get a quick word from our sponsor, and then we'll get to some shout-outs. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. When you're doing business on the web, having a VPN is almost essential, and many agree there's no better service than Surfshark. Let me tell you why. Surfshark provides you 24/7 protection from hackers, data leaks, malware, and even allows you free access to movie streaming services in different countries. I personally appreciate Surfshark's ability to block all malware websites and scan all downloads for potential viruses. You just never know what could impact your online experience, and navigating has become a lot more safer because of this service. So today, if you visit the link surfshark.deals/justalex and use the promo code JustAlex, you not only get 83% off your monthly payments, but you'll get an extra 3 months for free. This is a massive deal that many of you should take up while it's here. So don't wait, feel safe, get protected by Surfshark today. Thank you all so much for joining me. A huge crowd tonight, close to 200 people live. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you for joining me for this New Year's. As always, you gotta give love to the people who help keep it a safe space. Please show your love to the moderators: Ultra, Shadow 97, 5-star heart, Elias, Ademi, New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Khalil does everything, and of course, Big MGM. Thank you all for helping to keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you. You guys are amazing. Also, I've already said it before, but it is imperative that you guys hit that like button. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. I see a lot of people are telling me that there are ads running during the live stream. I have it set up to where YouTube is running the ads automatically. So if you happen to get an ad, just skip it. I apologize ahead of time. This is a YouTube thing. They're the ones doing it. I'm assuming it's just to make sure there's more ads being seen, so advertisers can get paid more or get more of a return on their payments. So it is what it is. You just gotta work with it. Business is business. Don't get upset at it. That's just how it is. When we get ourselves big enough, when I become the biggest YouTuber in terms of wrestling content on here, and I have 1 million subscribers, I'll create my own website, and we won't have to worry about that. Or will we? Dum. Anyways, y'all, let's get to these shout outs. Thank you so much for being here. I keep saying thank you, but still, I appreciate you for your time. Now, let me play these super chats. I see a super chat just lingering. Or did it already play? Just want to be sure. That was McNeil's, right? Oh, never mind. McNeil. That super chat already played. Okay. Well, super chats are on. Get your super chats in. I'm going to go ahead and start the shout outs. And before I even begin, I got to give my love to 2 of the biggest, the best wrestling reactors on this side of the planet. Everyone, show your love to A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. They had an awesome watch along of Raw. I was there. You guys weren't. You missed out. Don't miss out on the next one. Subscribe. Tune in. Because I'm telling you, they give you the best reactions. They are raw. And not in a way that you're thinking of. Jacking off. Hey. Have to get that in. Those of you who don't get that reference, that's okay. That's an A and B combos reference. But I'm pretty sure I just popped AJ. I just popped him. Anyways, thanks for being here, A and B combos. Let me go ahead and shout out the rest of the crew here. I see right off the top, JJ, who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? JJ Bulldog. Juan Orozco. Bro, I'm getting good at rolling my R's. Orozco. Alejandro Estrada. I might end up calling you. Nah, we're gonna go with Orozco. We got P-Funk. You drop the funk on me, baby. You drop P-Funk on me. Paid Enthusiast. We got Lauren Biggs. Hey, Lauren. I don't want to hear anything about Veer coming tonight. Alright? There's no coming in this chat because The Rock already came. Giggity. Anyways, Darcy Chatham. A Breezy. 2357. A Rit, Adam Ritter. Carlotta. Oh, this is a new one. Carlotta Hansberry. Carlotta Hansberry. Are you new? Well, Carlotta says Bray Wyatt sucks. Ooh, I think you might be a troll. Carlotta, are you a troll? Moderators, if you see the troll, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. You know what I'm talking about. Ajax, 25. Joseph Winters. I also see, let me scroll down a little bit. Mackenzie Malord. Debit, money. Debit Money Adams, good to have you here. Let me scroll down a little bit more. We got Sean Swaby, baby, in the his house. Good to have you here. Amadeus Helsing, Eddie Logan. Let me do three more. John Bill II. Highway dealing danger. Give you that falsetto, boy. In the falsetto. Ooh, baby. Sorry. Dylan Danger, good to have you here. And the last one's gonna go to. Who's it gonna go to? There's a lot of people here. It's gonna go to Nate McClyde. Mr. Nate McClyde. Okay, thank you all so much. Listen, there's a lot of people here. If I don't say your names, please don't be offended. Ain't because I hate you. I do want to go ahead and get to this review. We got other topics we gotta talk about too. One about Mercedes. Not Mercedes, but Mercedes. And Kevin Dunn, who is officially done with the WWE. And let me tell you something. Good. Happy he's gone. Alright, you guys are awesome. Let's go ahead and get to it. You know what to do. Hit the like button. Get your donations in. We'll get to the rest of them at the end of the stream. Kevin Dunn. A name that you've all heard before. Might officially be out of wrestling for good. And I say might because who knows where someone like him will end up now. But I do know one thing that's for sure. He ain't in WWE anymore. And that to me is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Yo, it's me. It's DDP. Sorry. Let me tell you something. Kevin Dunn, despite all the stories you've heard from Jim Cornette and Jim Ross and other people, the guy has been in WWE longer than anyone I've known. I think he might be outside of Vince McMahon, he might be the longest employee. He might have the longest tenure out of any employee that has ever worked for WWE. He has worked longer for WWE than anybody. He's been there probably since the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. He has been a part of that production crew since the start of Monday Night Raw. that goes to show you how integral, how important, how ingrained in the product he is. So, for me, if I'm going to rip on him, and I will, I want to at least give him his props. He is someone that has been a part of WWE, whether we like it or not, or whether we know it or not, our lives for a long time. And so for that, give him his props. Now that that's said, God, I'm glad this buck-tooth mother effer is no longer going to be screwing up our product with his dumbass egregious cuts and giving his dumbass opinions about who should be on TV. Oh, I'm so glad he's gone. Now, I don't know how many of you know about these horror stories involving Kevin Dunn, but he was an asshole. Now, some people might say he doesn't need to be nice. I understand that. In business, it's not about being nice. It's about making that money. Yeah. But this guy was making decisions and saying things that actually hurt the WWE and make them lose money. And this goes all the way back to the goddamn 90s. Number one, he is a bully. A well-known bully. Bully Jim Ross. Constantly yelling at his headset. All the time. Making fun of his accent. Because he hates accents. And I know this. Yes, but two. Son of it. I said, son of a jerk ain't talking about people with accents. Him and Vince McMahon were micromanaging everything. Oh, one of those micromanagers? Oh, headache. You made one small mistake, that was the end of your career. And see, because he's been there for such a long time, he had influence over the roster and what took place on TV. So a lot of times, people like Sheamus or Becky Lynch or anybody that had some kind of an accent, unless you were a massive star, you wasn't able to get on TV. They made it harder for those people to get over, which hurt their money and hurt their TV product for no reason. Seriously, he was a jerk. Especially to the women. He hates women's wrestling. He doesn't think it's a draw. He thinks it's a waste of time. He is what you would call traditional when it comes to, wrestling. Because wrestling, for the longest time, was a male sport. And he believes that it should remain a male sport. And that women can't draw. Unless they're showing their TNA, if you know what I mean. But the most egregious offense to me are those stupid-ass camera cuts. The zoom-ins every time someone's hitting the chair. The 10,000 cuts when there's a beatdown. Production-wise, WWE has had some of the worst production over the last decade. And he was at the helm of it. Terrible work. So you damn right I'm glad he's gone. He was someone of the old guard that held down the future. That held down this new generation from becoming stars. He had to go. If the WWE was going to progress forward, if they were ever going to achieve a new golden era, people like Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn, and hopefully Bruce Pritchard as well, need to get the F out. They need to go. Go away. Thank you for what you've done for the business. Thank you for your contributions, but now you're hurting us. You need to go. So yeah, I'm so glad he's done. And I hope he stays done. Two down. One more to go. And the last one is, I love you. Bruce Pritchard. Kick his ass out. For the love of God. And put Paul Heyman. Man, the day we kick out Bruce Pritchard and add in Paul Heyman as someone that can write for these shows, it is game over. WWE is going to wipe the floor with this competition. But this was a very important first step. Kevin Dunn had to go. Another important aspect that we got to talk about, and I know a lot of people were talking about it earlier, but Mercedes. Sasha Banks. I know people were hoping and praying that she would come out to WWE. I got some bad news. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Fightful Select just reported that Mercedes is literally on her way to AEW. She's already in talks, and she's about to finalize a deal right now. So, if that's the case, I expect to see her on Wednesday. Wanted to tell you guys that, not to rub it in your face, but to simply let you guys know, in this world we call wrestling, to me, what makes it thrive is competition. Clearly, the WWE, either they couldn't afford Mercedes. Who am I kidding? They could afford her. They could have given her what she asked for. They just probably thought she wasn't worth it. So whatever the case is, I'm happy that she was able to get what she was looking for elsewhere. Because what is not WWE's is AEW's. So for all of you who are upset that we're not going to see Sasha Banks on WWE television, you could just watch her on AEW. Also, let me tell you this. AEW might be getting Sasha Banks, but the WWE is about to get Andrade. I just saw, and I saw this too in the live chat, Andrade is going to be appearing on NXT soon. Yep, Andrade is going to be on NXT, and I saw Miss AJ Mendez, AJ Lee training, teasing about a return. How crazy would that be if AEW got Mercedes and WWE got AJ Lee? Now, I don't know about you. As much as I love Sasha, Mercedes, and I will always love her, you will never see a bigger fan of AJ Lee than me. I love AJ Lee. If you ask me to pick between Mercedes or AJ Lee, I'm picking AJ. All day, every day. And damn it, if you bring back AJ, hold on now. Hold up. AJ Lee versus Rhea Ripley. AJ Lee versus Bayley. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. AJ Lee versus Jade Cargill when she's ready. Come on, AJ Lee versus Bianca Belair. AJ Lee versus Io Sky. AJ Lee versus Asuka. AJ Lee versus Charlotte Flair when she gets back and she's healthy. AJ Lee versus Kairi Sane. Man, you bring back AJ Lee, y'all gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You can just watch Mercedes on AEW, and then she's gonna kill it with that women's division. Let AJ Lee come back and kill it here. Holy crap. That gets me more excited for Royal Rumble, honestly. Because I know a lot of you, what about Mercedes? Nah, man. Nah. AJ Lee, that is who you should be excited for. Everything's gonna be just fine. AJ Lee's gonna be just fine. I'm excited about that. But yeah, I do think she's coming back. How about this? Do I think she's coming back for a long stint, like permanently? I don't know. That I don't know. It's probably just for the Royal Rumble. But man, look, if Punk is back permanently, I can see her more than likely coming to WWE to run things with a couple of these women. I do, man. I want her to come back for one last run. And have some banger matches. Banger. Gang. Banger matches. Bang, bang. Maybe even do AJ Lee versus Trish Stratus. Fuck it. Man. AJ, come on back. We can use you. So give me your thoughts about that. Give me your thoughts about Mercedes, Andrade, and AJ Lee. I know people are like, NXT. I think it's because, well, think about it this way. You could put him on Raw, but what's there really for him to do, per se? Well, you're going to slot him in that main event spot on Raw? Right now? I don't know. It's not going to work for him. Because if the plans to do CM Punk and Seth Rollins, he really doesn't fit in well. Also, you could put him on SmackDown, but they're currently pushing Santos Escobar as like the next top luchador on that brand. So you can't have Andrade clashing with what they're doing with Santos. You can tell Triple H wants to push Santos Escobar as like the next top Mexican luchador Latino star. So he just said, hey, Sean, you want Andrade? I don't know. We'll find out. They might do something. So, all right. Let's get to it. Day 1-ish. Monday Night Raw, day 1. Live in San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, sold out. They sold it out. Massive crowd. I don't really think it was... How do I put this? The crowd was hype when they needed to be hype. But in terms of a crowd that can wake up a show, a crowd that's like, oh my God, it can take a show from a B to an A, like what happened with Puerto Rico Backlash last year. Like that crowd made that show. This wasn't one of those crowds. They were quiet a lot during moments that were pretty blasé. I'm not gonna lie, but when it was time to get hype and it was time to get excited, they were excited. That I will say. But it was a solid crowd. They were really into Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Nia Jax had a good match, y'all. It was a match that didn't suck. She didn't hurt Rebecca. They had good chemistry. Lots of back and forth. She sold pretty well. She showed charisma. Mr. Unfamiliar, thank you for being a member, sir, for 14 months. He says, I'm so glad Cody's story is pushed back another year. Ouch. But yeah, like, in terms of a Nia Jax match, it's the best one I've seen. I ain't saying much because 90% of her matches were terrible. Maybe 1 or 2 were decent. This was good. This was a good Nia Jax match. I thought Becky made the best out of it, and Nia came out looking very strong and dominant. She beat Becky clean after hitting her with that knockout punch once again, the same punch that broke her nose, this time broke her jaw, and you saw blood coming out of Becky's mouth. And that was sold very well, too. Then she hits her with that Yokozuna Bonsai Splash, the Bonsai drop, and pins her 1, 2, 3. No complaints. Very well booked. Now Nia gets to go and fight Rhea Ripley, perhaps at the Royal Rumble, which is the match they should do. Let Becky Lynch find another way to fight Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. She'll probably have to win Chamber, which she should. I do think Becky should win Chamber in Australia. But yeah, this was a surprisingly good match. I don't think I'll be saying that again in the near future. But yeah, congratulations, Nia Jax. You didn't suck. Cody Rhodes, before he started lamenting the idea that the story won't be complete this year, had a segment. Big pop from the crowd. Woo-hoo! Came out to call out Shinsuke Nakamura. I miss Rick Boogs, man. We need to bring him back. But he said, essentially, he's done being stuck on Nakamura. He wants it to be over. He wants this feud to be over so he can focus on finishing the story. So he called out Nakamura to have a match. Nakamura appears in the Titantron, and you get this awesome display of anime comic book graphics, or manga, if you will. Basically says he didn't think it would be so easy to get into his head, but he did. And he says the story won't end tonight, but it'll end next week. So we're going to do Cody versus Shinsuke next week. Just giving him one more week to dream before he becomes what Rhodes can't. And that is the guy that finishes the story. Oh, don't worry. I think The Rock did that for him. Oh, Cody Rhodes fans are pissed at me now. Look, I'll put it to you this way. At the very least, I do think Cody should be on the WrestleMania card. I think, honestly, yeah, he should fight Roman on night 1 for the world title. But if they're going to do Rock versus Roman, Cody's not getting that main event spot. Sorry. He had his shot. You don't do that main event twice in a row. This is the year to do Rock versus Roman. But anyways, we'll see where that goes next week. I'm not going to say too much about Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser taking on main event Jey Uso and Kofi Kingston because the match ended in a referee stoppage. During the match, Kofi Kingston drop kicks Giovanni Vinci in the face while he was diving off the rope and basically gave him a concussion. The referee stopped the match and give it to Jey and Kofi. It is what it is. Match is not something that I will go back and watch. And this really did. I won't say it killed the show, but it tanked the momentum. The momentum didn't recover after this, if I'm being honest with you. I think it actually affected the next few segments. Because even though I enjoyed what they did with Miz TV, R-Truth, Dominic Mysterio in his hometown, and JD McDonough, I was still kind of thinking about, man, I hope Giovanni Vinci's okay. Look, guys, this isn't ballet. Wrestling is not ballet. You're going to get hurt. It is what it is. We just need to appreciate what these guys, these men and women, do for our entertainment. But yeah, Miz TV. Miz TV. The reunion of the Awesome Truth. Now, it was supposed to be Judgment Day. The entire group of Judgment Day coming out to be interviewed by The Miz. But only R-Truth showed up. The unofficial member of Judgment Day. Who's really not a member, but he thinks he is. He says they're misunderstood. Not everybody likes them, but I'm going to make people like them. And that's when Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough come out. And holy crap, the amount of heat Dom got. Again, if I was doing Heel of the Year, if I wasn't putting the award show up for votes, I would have picked Dom as the Heel of the Year. The amount of heat he gets, you don't see that. You don't see that nowadays. It's rare. Boy can't even talk. But it was fun. JD McDonough and Dom end up challenging R-Truth and Miz to a tag match. Another tag match. Jesus Christ. How many tag matches did we have on this show? I think every other match was a tag match. Jesus Christ. But yeah, a tag match happened. And Awesome Truth won. JD McDonough and Dom lost. Don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to see where that leads. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance did a segment where they went clubbing. They took the women's titles to them they took the women's titles with them to a club. All that booze all over those titles. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green rolled up, and then they threw champagne in their face. Okay. It's like, I got nothing to add to that. It's just a segment. It's one of those things where you go, they're still trying to find out what works with this women's division. And I'm happy they're at least giving them TV time. But it is one of those things where, okay, we need to start figuring this out now. You get me? Like, they're getting this TV time. We're showcasing them. Now that you're here, we need y'all to start clicking. All right? You can't blame Vince McMahon for not giving you TV time, and that's why you didn't get over. Triple H is giving you all the TV time in the world. Now you need to make the most of it. You gotta start clicking. So that's kind of how I feel now when it comes to this women's division. But I'm happy they're getting a lot of TV time. Ivy, excuse me. I was thinking Nile. I was gonna say Nia though. So Ivy Nile takes on Rhea Ripley. I don't know, man. It's one of those matches where the performance of Ivy Nile really shows you that there's a lot of potential there. I can see her doing well as the years go on. She's still trying to find herself. She's still trying to connect. Great in-ring performer. Great in-ring performance. I just have to ask the question, who can believably beat Rhea Ripley at this point? Anyone else just kind of feel like Rhea Ripley has reached a point where no one can believably beat her? I mean, when they do Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley, there might be a side of me that thinks Nia might beat her. But at the same time, I gotta be honest with you. There's no way in hell that I see anyone beating Rhea Ripley, not even Becky. And we all know the WrestleMania match is going to be Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. So I have to ask, like, who do we have that can believably beat her? It's not going to be Charlotte. Clearly not Charlotte, because she's going to be out for a while. I don't know. That's a good question. Someone said Bianca. Well, we haven't done Bianca and Rhea. We would have to turn Bianca heel, though, which I think is going to happen. I think they're holding off on that. I think they should do it very soon, because I'm over babyface Bianca Belair. I need her to turn heel. Team her up with the Street Profits and Bobby. Bobby who? Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley. But yeah, this was a good match. I thought the performance of Nile, I almost said Nia. Nile was decent enough, but I didn't believe 1 second that Rhea was gonna lose. And then we get the announcement that the former WWE champion that we've been waiting for, the special guest, has arrived. And out walks Jinder Mahal, the Maharaja. And let me tell you something. I don't think I've laughed this hard over a WWE decision in a long time. When he came out there, I howled. I would have woken up my neighbors if I didn't have sound barriers around my room. Hilarious. Great call. He came out there and he got good heat. Gets to the microphone and gets angry at people for being a disappointment on his return, and claims that he's not just a past WWE champion, but a future champion as well. He says he's disappointed. He is disappointed in what's become of the once great United States of America. He says that we're divided and a joke, and he'll unify us. And if you don't believe him, just shut your mouth and listen. And then he starts speaking Punjabi, getting that foreign heat. America! And you just know, all right, he's building up for someone to come out and beat him up. And he's doing a good job, too. I was like, you know what? All right, Jinder. It's all improv. You can tell it's all improv, too. This was not scripted, which is the best kind of segment, when it's not scripted. And then you hear, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Boom. 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 The Rock comes out, big pop, crowd loses their mind. Woo-wee! What a pop. Great segment. Great reaction. Comes out, gets in the ring, starts throwing them jabs at Jinder. And it's phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. Jinder took it like a champ, too. I even like the self-defecation that The Rock did. The Rock said, Jinder Mahal, if you were any of my movies, you would be Baywatch. Which I thought was great. And Jinder said, well, luckily I haven't seen Baywatch. And The Rock goes, so you're telling me you haven't seen Baywatch? No, it doesn't matter if you haven't seen Baywatch. And then he talks about the Iron Sheik. Rest in peace, Sheiky. And he says, if the Iron Sheik were here, he'd say, Rock Bubba, who is this no good son of a bitch jabroni bastard? For the record, before The Rock started using jabroni, Sheik used jabroni. So that's where The Rock got that from. So that was good. It was so good. And then, of course, you gotta get in the finally, The Rock has come back to San Diego. And then he called him Day One Douchebag. You're not gonna be known as the modern day Maharaja. You're gonna be known as the Day One Douchebag. Had the crowd chanting, Day One Douchebag. Day One Douchebag. Then, The Rock sings a jingle. His version of the national anthem about how Jinder is jacked as hell, but his balls aren't there. And he's got no choice but to whoop his candy ass. And they start brawling. The Rock is selling. He's taking it. And the next thing you know, he fights back, does the spine buster, hits the people's elbow, the crowd goes crazy. And then you're thinking, is that it? Nope. gets the microphone again. Talks to San Diego saying, hey, The Rock's hungry. Yo, San Diego, when I go get something to eat, should I shut The Rock, sit at the booth? Should The Rock sit at the bar? Or should The Rock sit at the head of the table? Huge pop. Lost their minds. Didn't even have to name Roman. Didn't even have to name drop him. The crowd wants The Rock versus Roman. And again, I think that should be the match that happens at WrestleMania. What they do with this, up to them. They want to put it at Chamber in Australia, go for it. But that's the match to do. I'm sorry. No offense to Cody and Roman. This is the match to do at WrestleMania. It's the only dream match we got. Main event. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. The match was good. Not a bad match overall, but quite frankly, it was one of those matches that I kind of feel was hurt by the ending. Because you had Damian Priest go in there to cash in, and he gets interrupted by Drew. Drew goes to hit the Claymore on Seth, and then he basically had him pinned, but Seth's foot touched the rope. And then Seth hits a pedigree on the table on the outside. On the table! Doesn't break. Curb stomp. Drew gets pinned. 1, 2, 3. And then we see Seth Rollins laying down. And then Damian Priest standing up on the outside watching in. And not cashing in. I think that just makes him look bad, man. It makes him look incompetent. You had an opportunity to cash in. Why would you not capitalize on it? I don't know. I just feel like that was such a weak ending, and it made Damian Priest look incompetent, like he didn't know what he was doing, because anybody else would have cashed in. Anybody with the same mind would have cashed in right then and there. But that's how they ended the show. They ended the show with Seth just retaining. I don't know what's going to happen with Drew, but we'll have to see. I mean, what do y'all think? I just thought it was a weak way to end the show. But yeah, definitely. I do think, for me, The Rock versus Roman is the way to go. And him coming back really added some life to the show. So give me your thoughts down below about Raw Day 1. What did you feel was your favorite segment? Where do you think we're going to go from here? Just very curious to know what y'all think. Live chat. You now have the floor. I am turning on super chats. Get your donations in. But I am going to start reading your comments just for a little bit. I just want to get your thoughts on everything. But thank y'all once again for being here. Yeah, what are we going to do with Drew McIntyre now? I have no idea. That is a good question. You guys tell me. Lots of love shown to A and B combos. I'm so happy that you guys welcome them. You welcome them in like they're family because they are family. John Millard, excuse me. Why did I say Millard? John Miller, Happy New Year to you. Dylan Danger was pulling a Rick Rude. He was with A and B combos. Now he's over here. He's on 2 shows. I appreciate that, sir. Sean Swaby says, sorry, Punk, maybe next year. Honestly, he might end up main event at WrestleMania next year. He probably should. No main events for Punk or Cody. I don't know about that. I think Cody will get night 1. He should get night 1. If he doesn't get night 1, he'll definitely get night 2. You see it? He saw the jerking off. And he liked it. I popped him. Ronwell. Ooh. Negelas? Negelas. Ronwell Negelas. Did I say it right? Alyx, I made my WrestleMania 40 main event fan art with my favorite child actor as a referee to Punk versus Rollins and Gia's IG story. We'll get back to that.
The Rock should win the Royal Rumble and challenge Roman at WrestleMania, then Cody gets his moment at SummerSlam.
I mean, we could give him his moment at SummerSlam. Have Roman hold the belt for a little bit longer, perhaps. Yeah, people are saying maybe Cody gets the moment at SummerSlam. Why don't we just do it at WrestleMania? I don't know what the problem is with that. John Peele II, I'm still waiting for AEW to come back to Detroit so I can go see the show and hopefully trying to get a date with Hikaru Shida. Hikaru Shida! Let me see. Punk versus Rollins, an IG story, and both Rollins and my favorite child actor saw it. We're definitely going to get Punk and Rollins, that's for sure. I just don't think it'll be the main event. Page Enthusiast says he dropped the funk on me. Did you? Lauren Biggs, what did you just... What is this, Lauren? Lauren Biggs said, Alyx, you have to be rock hard to come. Lauren! Jesus Christ almighty, Lauren. What the hell? Oh my God, Lauren. What are you doing? If someone is hating on Bray, obviously it's Smucker's Jelly. Oh yeah, they a troll. We don't deal with trolls. How we feeling about Kevin Dunn being fired? Or leaving? Joseph Winter says Kevin Dunn should stay away from wrestling. I agree. Kevin Dunn searching for some wood right now. Oh my God. So long, Beaver. Let me see here. Big picture. Tony Schiavone supervised Kevin Dunn during his short time there. Tony could have easily been in Kevin's role. Probably. You right about that. You right. Let me see here. Just continuing the Kevin Dunn stuff. In my mind, Triple H fired Kevin Beaver. Or Triple W fired Kevin Beaver. I hate those zoom-in cuts. Oh my God, the atrocious, egregious zoom-in cuts were terrible. Yeah, drain the swamp, man. Drain the swamp. We got away from Vince. We got away from Kevin. And let's get rid of Bruce Pritchard. Yep, Sasha's going to AEW. And Deonna Purrazzo is rumored to be coming to AEW too. She would be huge on the AEW roster. Huge, buddy. AJ Lee says she's still retired. Yeah, for now. I don't see that staying the case.
WrestleMania 40 Goldberg versus Omos.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't need that. Don't need that craziness on my show. Would you guys be kissed or pissed? Would you guys be pissed if they do a triple threat with Rock, Roman, and Cody? Don't do that. Nah, don't be doing no triple threat. Do Cody versus Roman and do Rock versus Roman. Don't need no triple threat. Yeah, Dom couldn't even talk. He couldn't even get a word in during his segment. I agree. The women's division is still bland. Yeah, they're trying to get some life into it, but a lot of the girls are very green. And Jade Cargill wouldn't add to it either, because she's also green. For sure. Wish Rock back, The Rock says, quote, in his theme song. Wish Rock brought back, The Rock says, vocals in his theme song. I love his name. Ep Tribalism, I agree. When is Jade Cargill coming? I have no idea when she's ready. How about that? It's okay to do Rock vs. Roman at Chamber. The show is taking place in front of 60,000. I don't know. I just feel like that's a WrestleMania match, but that's just me. I'm traditional that way. How I feel about them Cowboys? I don't give a fuck about them Cowboys. Them boys is always gonna be the Briscoes. Goddamn Cowboys. All I care about is my Texans. And them Texans about to go to the playoffs. Otherwise, I will disown football again. Regardless, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you making me a part of your day. We got a lot of live streams coming this week. We got one on Wednesday for Dynamite, and we got one on Friday for SmackDown. So, in the meantime, thank you all for being here. As you follow out, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. You guys are awesome. As always, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Check out the other content, my shorts, my uploads, and I will see you tomorrow. for a very special video. I am doing another video for the first time. We're going to be doing something called Wrestling Hot Takes, where you guys are given a question, and I will be reading your comments. So if you want to be a part of this video, you can do so in 3 ways. You can go on my Facebook, my Twitter, or even my YouTube community tab and leave a comment, a very good comment, about who do you think will win the Royal Rumble, both men and women. The best comments will get featured in the video. So you guys let me know how you feel. And other than that, catch you guys next time. Right here in Alyx, where the place it is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.
When you're